potentials in the mind, the spiritual potential as such. Now, in KGF here, quite close by from Bangalore, there used to be a very big mine, a gold mine. Now we don't hear much about that. But now it was, they found out several veins of gold. And then they started this operation. And a big mining, operation started, and they exploited the gold, etc. And when they found everything, taken every bit of gold out of it, out of that mine, out, there was nothing more left, you see. So, but then they added other things to turn that gold field into something else. Some industry, and it continued. So when you purify the mind, you are also at the same time perfecting it. Perfecting some of the potential, the powers and the endowments of the mind. What are those? Now, for instance, you perfect mindfulness. To begin with a simple thing. Unless you are mindful, you just cannot meditate. Unless you are mindful, you just cannot perform Shila or any good action, meritorious action in a proper way. It is because people are constantly distracted. Constantly the mind keeps on roaming and here, there and wandering, that you get involved in evil, involved in akusala karma, in unwholesome action, and thereby accumulate a negative potency which can lead you to a very painful state of existence. To the apayas, last time we mentioned about the 4 types of subhuman, very painful states of existence. Though Sotapanna alone is free from all those. He can never be born there. Once you are liberated, you see, from certain bandhanas, sangyojana they are called. Sangyojana means that which bind you like this. Bind one life with another life. Bind the mind with the external world. So this binding, this fetter, the sangyojana means in English fetter. It binds, it ties you. So these bandhanas are the ones that keep us tied down to samsaric existence, to the wheel of samsara, wheel of life. So if you want to get out of this wheel of life, and by getting out, what happens is you are freed from the wheel of life, means freed from birth, death and rebirth, because the karmas are over. All the bad karmas are over, just like the tank, for instance, the tank analogy. You clean up the tank of all dirt. Finished. The tank has pure water and potable, good water, it can be used, not the bad ones. So there you are. So the mind has to be purified, first of all the impurities which grow together with karma, with action. What is action? Threefold action. Kayena, vacha, manasa. Now when you say panatipata veramani, I renounce, I abstain voluntarily on my own. No command of any god or a guru or a person or a religion or this, nothing. Just my own volitional action. Now once you do that, renounce it, you are also developing certain positive virtues like metta. Now the saint, last time we mentioned that the saint has no ichha, no desire. Very good. He has emptied the mind completely of desire and so on. So, and then he also loves, he is contented fully, he doesn't care for anything in the world. And then he also doesn't like to be like crowd at all. He likes to be alone, aloof, and secluded, not because of any personal selfish this thing, no. He is engaging his mind in higher things by being secluded, by loving seclusion. You can engage the mind in higher spiritual practice, higher spiritual cultivation of spirituality. Once you do that, then you see the seclusion provides all the conditions where you can develop. So that is why next point, the attribute is called, he is very, very energetic. Viryaramna. And he praises all the time that it must be energetic. Don't be dependent on anything. Be dependent on your own resources, which is your mind, which is your effort, which is your mindfulness, which is your saddha, faith, wisdom-rooted faith, not blind faith. Faith, there are 5 spiritual, faculties known as indriya. Saddha, faith, that is wisdom-based conviction, and therefore you develop confidence out of conviction. Where you are convinced about the goodness of a thing and about your purity, you have a certain conviction. And no one can, is so firm and nobody can move you from that. So that's a powerful mental, spiritual faculty and spiritual potency. Now when you undertake the metta, the first sila, metta is one such. Very powerful indeed. We are now here, all of you are here. All of us are now in the vihara. How come that we are here? We must be grateful to our parents. The amount of trouble the mother undertook when we are in the womb. 10 months, my goodness, day in, day out, she slogged just to protect us, protect the baby. Then the baby comes out after parturition. And again the whole thing goes on. The baby is totally helpless and dumb. He can't even talk. He can't even walk. Now all that stage we have passed through, but we have forgotten, and we are not grateful to our parents very often. It's a horrible dussila, dirt, mental impurity of selfishness and all that. So if you cultivate gratitude towards your mother, just think about the good things you have received from her. Day in, day out, until you are able to be on your own. That's many years. Then the sacrifice of the father, all the money that he has brought, you see, for my education and this, that and so on. So, these are all moral, aspect of life, a part of Shila. So when you follow the Pancha Shila, you are purifying the mind. And this gratitude will be visible and verifiable. You will have a son who is extremely loyal to you, or a daughter. So, when you say potency, you are purifying the mind, you are also perfecting those qualities. Saddha, wisdom-based faith, virya, tremendous energy, effort, and sati, mindfulness, samadhi, ability to concentrate the mind and to tranquilize the mind. Tranquilize, that is the word. How many people enjoy mental peace? Ask yourself. With all the education, with all your money, with all your power and position, how much peace do you enjoy? That is a very, very legitimate question to ask. Because one day all of us have to go. And if the mind is not tranquilized and calm, and at the time when we have to go, and the mind is distracted by something else, my goodness, woe be to you. You don't know where you will be reborn. Suppose in a country like Pakistan you go and be reborn there. Horrible, no peace at all. Or we are born in, say, another culture where this knowledge of Dhamma, knowledge of karma and punarjanma, all these things are just not there. I spent a lot of time in the West and then I saw people simply don't understand this thing. You tell them, now they have heard the word karma and all that, and quite a lot of people do believe and they practice very earnestly, no doubt. But then majority people, they have absolutely no idea. They think, God is doing something, He is doing everything, He has created you, so He has the will, the divine will to do whatever He wants with you, and you are just a puppet. What a life. Yet this life need not be a puppet life. It can be extremely free and independent and delivered and very, very rich mind indeed. Can help the world in 100,000 ways. All that will happen when the mind is purified and then perfected as a result of purified of certain virtues, exalted virtues. Dana is one exalted virtue. Shila, one exalted virtue. The capacity to renounce the wrong thing, bad thing, is a great, it's a perfection. Parami. So there are 10 paramis that get, developed, perfected, and then by perfecting the paramis, you are, doing just one simple thing, namely you are transforming your mind. Well, until you have fulfilled the paramis, don't think of attaining the state of enlightenment called the Lokuttara, Magga and Phalachitta. There are 8 Lokuttara, Magga and Phalachitta in 4 stages of deliverance, freedom. Sotapanna is free from the apaya, as I mentioned. Sakadagami is free 6 times. Sotapanna can be born 7 times now. But once he has succeeded in weakening the further fetters, Lobha, Dosa, Moha, etc., then he can be born only once. So the benefit of not being born in a situation where you don't know what is going to happen is a great benefit, great freedom. And the mind also is perfected to that extent when it is purified. So then the Anagami, absolutely nothing, no, totally freed from Kama Loka. That's Nibbana from Kama Loka. Just a Nibbana from Apaya. So similarly, when the Arhat is totally free from all states of existence, samsara. Existence means coming again and again, dying again and again, being reborn again. So those who have gone beyond that, transcended. So this Nibbana is a transcendental state. Once you are in that dimension, so to say, then you are completely free and independent. You are not, you see, mind is fully developed, all the potentials are very highly developed, and you are then able to serve the world in the very best sense of the term. I don't think anybody has ever served the world better than the Buddha or the Arhats that we have. So this, the way hundreds of thousands of people have been delivered from samsara after Bhagavan Buddha appeared in this world. That is why the Buddha's name scintillates in the mind of the people. It's brightly, it warms up the heart of the developed people. Because of the immense benefit. He is the greatest benefactor that you can think of. From Venerable Sariputta, his chief disciple, up to our time, literally many billions of people have become liberated, freed from all the sufferings of the world. So now, spirituality, you see, the Mantani Putta, all the 10 attributes, you see, there that he has attained all that is through a process of cleansing, purifying. That is the story of a nun. She was living in a forest hut, doing meditation and nothing else. But she had lot of impediments bothering her mind. So she could not make much progress in her meditative practice and was dejected one day, very totally said, well, I'll go back then and all that. Then she said, no, let me have a wash. Let me have a dip in the river, by the side only there. And then let me see what I may go back. So now this monk, she saw that a huge elephant was brought in by a mahout. And that mahout chap was a young boy, almost a boy, very young person. And this mahout comes and brings the elephant. He has got some instrument in his hand, and he gives a command. He says, come on, get in. He has got a language of his own, the elephant language, and the elephant knows it. So get in, he said. And the elephant quietly, docile, just put the head down and went into the river. He said, come on, further, go, go. And like that he kept on giving his orders like a big military colonel to his subordinates. And then he says, come on the knee, down. So that huge creature got just down. He soaked himself in the water. And the river is passing. He's more or less full under the water now. Only his trunk is up. Then he rubs him thoroughly. He has got certain instruments, he rubs him thoroughly. And then he gets up, he says, hey, come on, up. Up he goes. And that water simply splashes and up. He says, come on, up in the bank. So he comes to the bank. Then he says, come on your knee. Give me your knee, he says. So he gave the knee like that, you see. And he jumped on the knee. he is there and jumped up on his neck, sat down there with that tool in his hand, and he ordered him, he said, "Come on, up you go." So he went up the bank and so on. My goodness, this nun, when she saw this, she said, "My, such a huge creature, an elephant, and this is a tiny little fellow. He could have, if he had just one leg, he can give a good kick to him, he will turn into a butter." Yet he had the command, the power, his mind is far more powerful than the mind of the elephant. That's a brute creature having no control over the mind. He is just an instinctive creature, has no capacity to, control the mind or will by using intention, the power of intention, another potential. So, intentionally achieve something, whatever you want to achieve. That is karma again, intentional action. So, she said, "My, now I am going to meditate." She went back and then she became Arahant that very day. So, these are examples, we have examples galore in our books. In a book called Theory Gatha, there are all these things are given. So these theories, elder nuns, they are like, we call them mothers, holy mothers. Now, such wonderful examples they have left. So the tradition of Theravada goes on based on all this. So it's worthwhile reading the biographies of these great ones and be inspired and try to achieve purity.